You told me on the phone that you had witnessed a murder.
Yes, it was my sister, and we were in an attic. And my stepmom, I remember her coming up the steps and she grabbed my sister by the neck. I did see my sister go up to heaven. I saw, it's like I saw Jesus come down on steps, like from heaven, and he grabbed her hand and brought her up to heaven. I saw her go. So
Uh-huh.
she went peacefully. So it wasn't like scary, it was very peaceful. And then she grabbed me, but somebody else came up the steps after that. And so she wasn't able to kill me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who
And
came up the steps? Who was it that came up the steps after that?
I don't know.
And then what happened?
And then there's time, it's like dark. And from what I now know, there was a 2 week period where they left me in the attic and I just sat there. And it was during the time when police and child protection people were not working together very well. And so when one tried to help, the other would say, no, we have to do this. And so they were kind of fighting amongst themselves who gets to do what. And so I got lost in that. And so in 2 weeks, finally, a Kathy Peters was my caseworker, and she came and she picked me up. She went up to the attic and she put a blanket around me, and she came and got me and took me out of there. I remember her standing in front of my stepmom and my dad, and I don't know, we said goodbye or whatever. And I remember going out the door. It was like a screen door. I remember hearing it, and I remember the driveway was like gravel, and I remember going down it. It was like long. The road or something was long, and they brought me to a foster family and just set me on the floor because I had rickets in my legs because I had malnutrition, and I weighed 25 pounds. I was a little over 6, and I didn't know what toys were or anything really, and so they put toys in front of me, but I didn't know what to do with toys, and I had so much trauma and so many things that I didn't that I had memory and didn't remember, but popped up, and nobody told me it happened. And so as memories began to come, I didn't have anybody to say, yeah, that happened. And so I thought I was crazy. And I think I began to feel ashamed. And I didn't trust counseling because I didn't trust my parents. The foster parents eventually adopted me when I was 11, and they changed my name to Julie. And that in itself was traumatic because I lost everything, including my sister, and now they took away my name. And that was a huge loss for me, but I felt like I had to say yes to everything or I would be a street kid. Like I'd live on the streets. That was my thinking. My adoptive family is it has its challenges. They did a really good job at teaching me how to live and being responsible and providing. They, I think they didn't know what to do with someone as wounded as I was. I only knew that I had been abused, locked in an attic and stuff. I knew that, but I didn't know I had been sexually abused. And so then I began to have more memories. I remember being put into this, like a barn, pretty horrific stuff. I remembered my dad taking us to like a bonfire, and there would be a lot of men, and he would take us and give us to the men.
Do you feel like you've gotten some good counseling as an adult?
Oh, excellent. Yes, I have. And I feel like I'm doing really well. I give it credit to the Lord. I'm a Christian, and there have been so many people that have invested in my life, in my heart, and I feel just really healed. And there's many counselors. I went to a place called Trauma Recovery Institute in West Virginia, and that place probably impacted me the most, where I got to I felt like I had to talk. I just needed to talk. So 8 hours a day, I got to talk and just pour out the words I needed to. And I went twice. I went to two-week increments. So I got 4 weeks of just talking. And that was very, very helpful. And I did some other things too. And just through time, I feel like a new person, and all that stuff is history. And now I'm living in freedom. I don't have any hate. I don't have any bitterness. I live in freedom.